I don't know how to say this, but...
Oh, boy. Melissa scares me when she does know how to say things, but when she admits she doesn't know how to say it, it's like, I want to put on my 5-point harness right now and see what happens.
No, it's not going to be bad.
All right, let's start this up. Let's announce the Funyuns Friday winner right now.
Okay.
Charlie is back. Hello, Charlie.
Hi.
This is your executive duty. This is your position on the podcast, announcing the Funyuns Friday winner every Saturday episode. Mm-hmm. All right, we just pulled from everybody who interacted with the post on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can get those channels at dailyautism.com. All right, Char, let's hear the winner of Funyuns Friday.
Okay, this week's winner is Nawanda Ayers from Facebook.
Nawanda Ayers from Facebook. Do we know where she lives?
Virginia.
Virginia. It's a commonwealth and not a state?
I didn't know that.
You learn something every day. It's amazing. Your knowledge increases. It's unbelievable. All right. Love you, Char.
Love you.
Excellent job.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that your growth as the podcast announcer for Funyuns Friday? I mean, do you feel like is it still a challenge? Is it still fun and challenging?
It's fun, but I don't think it's that much of a challenge anymore. Because I was on air when I was really little, when you were on radio.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You had a bunch of features on the radio.
Yeah,
you were really good. Actually, it's funny. Like you could almost have a resume at 11 years old of all these radio stations you've been on.
Yeah.
And now this podcast, which is distributed on Spotify and Facebook and everything. Your mom's wave. Oh, she's changing a cow's diaper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I do want to get to Universal Orlando. They just started a new autism room.
Really?
Yeah, so when you're at the park and you're there, like let's say we were there with Cal, and he started getting kind of like his sensory overload.
Yeah.
That you could take him in there, and it's like a quiet space. I think they called it a silent room where he can just kind of relax and chill and kind of just get back into his peaceful feelings.
I'm going there for my field trip this year for school.
You're going to Universal?
Yeah.
When is that?
In May.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, Tyler went, remember?
Yeah, Tyler went.
Yeah. So that's like an every fifth grade thing?
Yeah, except last year and the year before they didn't do it.
Well, yeah. Pandemic stuff. See, and that's one of the coolest things about living in this part of Florida.
Yeah.
Because the field trips are really cool. Like, I grew up in D.C., so, I remember, like, we'd go, oh, gosh, another field trip to the White House. Like, we got bored. But then I look back on it, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. Like, I've been to the Oval Office, 7 times, like, sitting in there. That was cool. So, enjoy Universal. All right, good job.
Yep.
Good job stalling. That was called a stall in the media business. So mom had to change Cal's diaper. That's, of course, off script, right? You never know when the diaper's going to explode. And what we had to do is we had to stall. So we had to cover for her being gone changing the diaper. And you did really good. So
Thank you.
I initially brought up Universal Orlando. They have a new safe silent space for autistic kids. When families are there, it's really cool. I saw it on LinkedIn. But then Char brought up the fact that she's going there for a field trip. And so she continued the stall tactic. Very well done, Charlie. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Gosh. I used to think no one could stall like me. And now I'm thinking to myself, gosh, she's a staller.
Well, Trey said he pooped.
But he didn't?
No.
Oh.
Trey said, I never said that. I said cockapoo.
Trey
or
actually
something
makes
ridiculous.
up so much stuff. It's ridiculous. It's almost annoying.
Yes, I know.
Like, he just makes things up.
Mm.
The kids... we'll get to that in a minute. Yesterday, so we talked on the podcast. So yesterday we're doing the podcast, and we're like, we're gonna go to Krabby Bill's, right? And have a couple of beers. My God, the weather was A+++ yesterday. I mean, it was huge yesterday, right?
Yes, it was a nice day. I took the kids to the beach for an hour and a half with Cal's ABA therapist.
Oh, I forgot we haven't talked about that.
And they got virgin daiquiris and French fries, and they had a great time. They even got in the water, and it's pretty cold.
They were, not for kids. They were loving it.
I
Oh,
know.
you could see, so Cal's ABA therapist does beach therapy with us sometimes, which is awesome and great for Cal. And we've got videos of that and reels. You can go to dailyautism.com and connect to our Facebook and Instagram channels there, dailyautism.com. But you got some really cute videos of him, playing with his brothers and sisters, and Lolo, his therapist, kind of helping him out and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, also, I wanted to give a quick shout out. So, while we're at Krabby Bill's, so Caitlin, who goes by KK.
Right.
She's one of the bartenders at Krabby Bill's. She's awesome. We've known her for years. Just does a super great job. Always fun to see her. So we go there and we saw her, and she writes on a lot of our stuff on Facebook, and it's really cool of her that she does that and pays attention to this podcast thing. But the kids are excited. So I'm sitting there, and I see this woman walk in with a Washington Commanders hat on.
Yes.
And it's the black one, and I've been looking for it. And so I'm like, hey, I'm sorry. I was like, I got to ask you, like, where did you get that hat? I've been looking to try to get the black hat. And she's like, oh, I actually work for the Commanders. I'm like, no way. Like, we're down here in the Gulf of Mexico and the Gulf beaches, and, you work for the Commanders. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, look, I got a skins tattoo. I'm HTTR for life, right? And she's like, so you're like a legit fan? I'm like, no, legit. So I show her my tattoo, and I'm like, by the way, two of my kids' middle names. One of them is Gibbs for one of the skins coaches, and John Riggins, who was a great running back, Super Bowl winning running back for the team back in the 80s. And she's like, you are a legit fan. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, look, put your number in my phone. She's like, when I get back to Ashburn, I'm going to send your kids some stuff, which was so cool of her. So
very cool.
And the kids were so excited. They're like, you met someone that works for the Commander? They were freaking out. So I wanted to give Teddy is her name from the Washington Commanders a shout out. She made the kids real happy. They're super excited. But really nice of Teddy to do that. She is a great ambassador for the Commanders. So big shout out to Teddy and the Commanders.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we just got this golf cart, right? And I got it in it's the Commanders colors, kind of the burgundy,
right?
The burgundy red deal, and we're gonna do it up. We call it the Commanders cart. So and we're about to deck it out in Commanders gear and stickers and banners and everything. So the Commanders going to be well represented here on the Gulf beaches of Florida and Gulf Boulevard. So
the kids are super pumped.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Is he mad?
I don't know what's going on. People keep opening the doors, and I don't know. Oh. Barkley's freaking out.
All right, thank you. Bye. That's why Barkley's freaking out, because Tyler takes forever. He goes out in the garage. He takes forever to come back in, and Barkley freaks out. I don't know why I just can't take him out in the leash and go. Anyway, this is the annoying life of 5 kids.
Yes.
And Tyler the turtle, I mean, he just takes forever to move. I mean, he just takes forever until he starts doing jujitsu and lifting weights, and then all of a sudden he's like
in a zone.
Yeah, he gets in this zone. It's crazy. So I talked about the thing at Universal, which I think is really cool, and we've been mentioning, like, it's cool to see how mainstream a lot of these big companies and organizations are dealing with autism, like Universal. Like, I mean, that's really neat.
It is neat.
And that would make a difference, I think, if somebody's planning a trip, especially something as big as, Universal or something. They might say, they offer these silent rooms. It's a place we can go and just sort of reset. If they're getting sensory overload, like, that could be a cool thing.
Yeah, so one thing that we're dealing with right now with Cal is he is having sensory overload. Or what did she call it? I forget exactly what she called it. But he's overstimulated because of all this extra therapy. Because it's a different schedule. So he hasn't been going to bed at night. Yeah. Sorry, I took off subject, but it made me think of the overload.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, but the point is, though, I think is it's kind of the same. So when there's a change in circumstance, and it happens like a lot back to back to back, it can really, like, I call it rewiring. It's like a circuit board, and it rewires it. Like, he's not going to bed because of all of this change in his schedule.
Yeah, and you have to do like a reset, like you said.
Yeah.
So like those sensory quiet rooms is a reset because they can get overloaded.
Yeah, I mean, Universal, you're being exposed to things that you don't see in your everyday life. There's more people, there's different foods, there's all the rides and the games and everything, So that's something that could cause a massive, quick overload.
Yeah, and if you don't understand autism, a big thing with it is just it's like so much more intense, everything. Like the sound is more intense. The visuals are more intense. Yep. The feelings more intense. Everything's more intense.
Well, it's like we were talking about the Commanders. Think about like football stadiums, baseball stadiums.
Yeah.
That's a tough environment. To think about taking a special needs kid to that environment. I mean, a big play, and you've got 70,000 people screaming, clapping. Think of all the music between the plays, fireworks, like the Bucks, Raymond James Stadium here. Every time there's like a first down, or you get into the red zone or score a touchdown and they fire the cannons.
Yeah.
That is, and then the night game, sometimes they do fireworks.
I know. Yeah. That's way too intense for him.
Way too intense.
Yeah.
But I think moving forward, there may be areas where it's a sensory, I don't know what you call it, sensory safe,
sensory friendly.
Yeah. Where you could go and it's like, okay, there won't be any surprise. Maybe there'll be like silence, whatever they call it, the noise-proof, soundproof glass.
Yeah.
So that the cannons, you won't hear them as much, or you know what I mean?
Well, that's nice. I mean, I think because it's more kids are being diagnosed, changes like that do need to be made. Yeah. Because the families do suffer by not being able to do certain things.
We would love to take our kids to those kind of events, but with Cal, it is impossible. Like, for instance, the Rays, so baseball's back on, and their opening series is against the Orioles, the Baltimore Orioles. We're big Orioles fans. So, like, that opening weekend, we were talking about, like, let's go and everything, but there's just no way we can take Cal.
So I told you to take the kids.
Yeah, you're going to wind up staying here, but the kids are going to be bummed out because they're going to be like, where's mommy?
Yeah.
They want you to go. They want you to be a part of all that, but it's just too much.
Well, just taking him to the beach yesterday, I sprayed sunscreen on him, and then that made him all out of whack. So then he was melting down, and people were staring, which I can care less about the stares now. And she just helped him through his meltdown, and he got up and had a great time.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
We're immune to stares.
Yeah. I mean, people are like, he's not being bad. It just,
they don't know.
I don't know. But just ignore it. I mean,
no, we probably did the same thing.
Probably
did. I don't want to
it doesn't bother me anymore.
No, I'm not
like,
trying.
Whatever.
I tell people, like, I'm not trying to change people. I'm not, I see enough of that on social media. If you see a kid, doing this, do not stare, do not point, do not, and it's like, okay, I'm sorry, you're not going to change anybody. And in the heat of the moment, that's what a lot of people are going to do.
Yeah.
Just get on with, just do some, post something, just relax. It's fine.
Like I said, it doesn't bother me anymore. She worked through his meltdown. I looked around, saw people staring, and I'm like, oh, well, whatever.
I mean, it is called special needs for a reason. I'm just being realistic here. Like, I know you're not supposed to say this stuff, but like my whole point is like lying is a big waste of time. Like it is the biggest waste of time. Like I don't want to like fake it, I mean, it's called special needs for a reason. It's special needs because you're in special circumstances, and people who aren't exposed to this often, their natural human, response is probably to look and stare. They probably like want to see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah. They're not doing it because most people are not doing it because they're making fun of you, because they probably just don't know what to do and how to feel. And that's just what you do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I feel like that now. I'm glad I feel that way. And I don't take the angry, approach of like, don't look at me. Don't look at my kid. Mind your business. You have no idea what we go through. It's like, no, it's fine.
But
like,
the stares used to bother you, and you would feel embarrassed.
Yep, that's true.
But now we just shrug it off.
Well, life is...
It is what it is.
Life is just about changing and I go back to rewiring. You just rewire how you think and everything. And I understand it. I mean, we've been in situations where people were staring, people were looking. We've had people whisper to each other,
Well, they were yesterday.
Yeah, and that's... that's okay. Like I said, it's special needs because you're presenting special circumstances, and I just think it's people's natural human reaction to look, stare, talk.
Well,
it's fine. We're just not used to it because our other 4 kids, when people would come talk to us, they would say how great they were at restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
But we worked very hard, like, to get to that. But like, we were very tough on them.
Yeah.
Like with manners and saying please, thank you, how to eat, use your fork, knife, everything, whatever. And so now it's gone completely the other way, which is people are looking and staring for different reasons, than we've ever been used to. But I mean, I just can't, as a human being, judge those people on that. I just can't do that. I mean,
when we go out, it's like a mission. Like we're going out and we're like, we don't know how he's going to act. So it's like, we're just getting through this mission, and then we're getting in it and we're getting out. You know what I mean? Because we can go to the beach like yesterday. Like I'm going to go to the beach today with the kids. But the kids know it's like a mission. If we need to leave in 2.5 seconds, we're going to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I'll just say to the kids, it's time, and they'll just grab everything and we'll just go.
We have mastered the art of ejection.
Yes.
Like we can immediately get out of a situation. Like we've figured
so fast,
very quickly. Like we've talked episodes and episodes ago. This is probably, I don't know, 20 episodes ago about when we go to a restaurant, which is rare these days, but when we go with the whole family. So when we order, we're like, and we'd like it to go, and they're like, to go, but you're sitting in a seat. Yeah. I get it. But just put everything in a to-go box. We may at any point need to simply close the box and run out of here to our car. and we pay the tab immediately. So we order, we pay the tab, we get it to go. You know what I mean? It's like...
Well, that's what I did yesterday at the beach. They got French fries in a to-go box.
Yes.
I just took them to lunch this week at Jake's Cantina in a to-go box.
Yeah. We prepare ourselves for a quick breakup with our server when we go out. We leave no...
Yeah.
There's no loose ends.
You don't need to help us. Just give us our food. We'll pay our bill. Then you're done.
And it's not you. It's me.
Yes.
It's not you. It's us. We are breaking up. You know what I mean? Immediately. But it's... It's the old one and done when we go out.
Certain places like Universal, like you were saying, having the sensory room, that would make me feel better about going. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't go right now, but as he gets older, if our whole family went, at least I know there's a place for me to take him if he needs it. You know? I
think they're starting to pick up on that, these companies, and I think it's only going to, we talk about Chuck E. Cheese. They do a special.
They do sensory Sundays.
Yeah, which I think is really cool. I was talking to, every segment, every category, every industry, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a car that comes out in the not too distant future that has a sensory package, inside, and maybe there's different materials in the back or different colors, maybe even kind of a mood lighting.
Well, it's interesting you just said the car, because we have to have a child safety lock on his door.
Yep.
We have to he's still in a 5-point harness.
Yep.
I don't know when he's going to be in a regular booster or seatbelt.
Yeah,
he's not old enough yet. He's old enough to be in a booster, but I'm not ready for him to be because he's not strapped in enough.
It's wide open. I think I was I had a conversation yesterday. Well, I email back and forth with the owner, the founder of Z-Pods, which is that bed, that really cool. I say bed. I'm not doing it justice. It is truly a pod, a sleep pod, but I guess it's a bed. He's the founder of that, and we were just talking about opportunities for those types of products and services. And I said, George, I'll be honest with you. I'm waiting for the first VRBO investor, Airbnb investor, to say, hey, I have a sensory friendly or special needs friendly, autism friendly beach house rental. And I think part of his products, part of his his Z-Pods in those would be fantastic, amidst a bunch of other products and services you could have. I think that is coming soon. If you're, let me just tell you, if like where we live on the Gulf beaches and the Airbnbs and the VRBOs are everywhere, if you promoted a sensory safe, sensory friendly, you would be booked for months and months and months beyond what you would imagine. Families will absolutely make that decision based on that. Because that is the difference between going on a vacation and not going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say this, but...
Oh, boy. Melissa scares me when she does know how to say things, but when she admits she doesn't know how to say it, it's like, I want to put on my 5-point harness right now and see what happens.
No, it's not going to be bad.
Oh.
So I don't know how to say it, so I'm just going to say it like this. This space is so wide open with so many different areas of businesses or positions. Like, for instance, somebody can come in somebody's house and say, I can make your house sensory. I can make this room sensory friendly. Someone can go in a hotel and the hotels can make it sensory friendly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Businesses like restaurants. And if you people can create this. You know what I mean? I'm just saying there's so many opportunities that are not out there yet.
Yeah.
For businesses to be created around autism.
Well, yes, 100. Like I honestly believe it's the Wild West right now in this category, if you will. It's not really a category; it's a lifestyle. I say category just because I think more people kind of understand that. But people don't. So we talk about this podcast, and I have friends of mine like from the radio business, where I spent 20 years on the radio. And they're like, well, so why did you choose to do a podcast on autism? You know, I think they think it's weird. And based on my background, it is weird. Like, I get it, you know, but I say to myself, and I tell them, I said, you know, I think maybe what I could help do in this whole thing is help bring a more mainstream kind of a pop culture centricity to autism, to the special needs community. Because I'm not talking at them, I'm talking with them. I'm a part of it, you know? And so maybe I could take a little bit of my background of hosting radio shows for, 2 decades, across the country, and kind of bring a more mainstream kind of approach, a more lifestyle approach to autism, to special needs, and not just the families, but to like the businesses and products and services that want to interact with those people. It's a massive segment. And so, like the way that we talk, like we always say, like, I'm trying not to do too much medical research and data and everything, because a lot of the autism content is rooted in that. That's the core value. And for me, that's just very boring. And it kind of is sensory overload to the typical mainstream content consumer. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I just don't want to hear about all this data and the latest study and DNA, RNA, genome, this and that. I'm just like, it almost depresses me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm almost just like, okay, they're researching. That's awesome. But honestly, this kind of gets me down in the dumps. Like, I'd rather hear a little bit more of the mainstream lifestyle stuff with autism.
Well, and we really just talk about our day-to-day stuff that's happening, because it is just we're spreading awareness, because you can't just put a kid with autism in a box and say this is how it is. And people don't understand autism, and we're still learning. There's so much for us to still learn, and we're going through it.
For God's sakes, we use a bag of Funyuns to try to spread awareness. I mean, we obviously have no idea what we're doing, but we're trying. We're trying.
Well, we were out yesterday, and one of our friends' parents said, "So what is it that Cal eats in the morning?"
I said Funyuns.
And she's 73 or something, and she hasn't tried Funyuns yet.
Yeah, Julie, she's never had a Funyun in her life. I said, Julie, come on. This is so I'm getting her a little bag of Funyuns.
Oh, yeah.
Because she loves onion rings.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she does.
Julie, you love onion rings. This just makes a lot of sense. She goes, oh, I don't know.
And Krabby Bill's has the best onion rings. They do.
They really do. Well, the thing about Krabby Bill's onion rings, I'll be honest with you, they literally have been so consistent. We've been going there for like 5.5 years. They've always been great. You know how hard it is to find that in a restaurant? Usually restaurants, they start making all this money and then they screw up their menus because they try to cut corners and make even more money.
Well, and these
they
aren't
never
frozen.
did that with their onion rings. They're like fantastic onion rings, and they're like tried and tested. It's really good.
Well,
That's
they're
what
lightly breaded.
Yes, they're light
Yes.
feather breaded, very lightly feathery breaded. Oh boy, you know what today's a good day for?
I'm not going anywhere today.
Yeah, right.
So when he says this, we say, for a beach bar.
You know today's Saturday? Doesn't it not feel like Sunday?
I don't know what day it feels like because the kids have been on spring break.
Oh,
so
wait
it's
till
like,
tomorrow because the kids aren't even going back till Tuesday.
I know.
Tomorrow's going to feel so weird.
I know. I have to work Monday.
You know what
I don't
tomorrow's a great
normally
day
work.
for?
A beach bar.
Oh, boy.
Maybe I'll go tomorrow, but I'm not going today.
Yeah.
You can go.
People think tomorrow?
You can go today.
I may go. I'm going to work out, and then I'm going to go in the backyard and destroy some trees,
Oh, okay.
which is going to be part of my workout. But after I do that, I probably will have earned a few beers at
Good.
Krabby Bill's. I probably would have earned a few.
Go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, the topics that we're talking about today, I could just keep going and going, but we
Well-
probably have to go.
Well, what are you thinking? Well, back to like the sensory safe stuff and businesses and everything like that. I am telling you, if you run you don't have to run a business. Even if you just are a part of a business, like wherever you work, there is probably something you can incorporate or have your owners or founders incorporate that will make an experience better for special needs families like us. I mean, we spend money. Like, we've got 7 of us. We spend money. We look for places to go that treat us nice, that have a great experience. We spend money, But B, for the company, you'll also make money. So you'll improve an experience, and you'll kind of get that following amongst that community, and you'll make money. I think it's just going to keep going. What are you showing me your phone for? You have to go? Nothing.
I have to share something with you when you get off.
You
It's
have to
important.
share? Oh,
Yes.
okay. All right. So are we ready to go?
Yes.
We're out. Have a great weekend, everybody. Oh, dailyautism.com. Oh, real quick, I got to talk about Aspire Nutrition and Cal's success. Really, all of our success with their products, including their probiotics. This is where we all started. So dailyautism.com. You can link to the products that we're all taking, and feel free to shoot us, questions, with the amount we take, when we take, all that kind of stuff. But the BioHeal Pro. It's the Pro Plus, right, from Aspire Nutrition, the probiotics.
Oh, yes.
This is what happened with Cal when he had to go to the doctor. This was a couple years ago. They did a scan of his tummy, and they're like, look, the autism thing, his tummy, not good. Get some probiotics. We dropped the ball on it. We really did. We just were consumed with the other autism stuff of life. But I got hooked up with Aspire and the people who started this. And they started this because their child got
diagnosed with autism.
Yeah, and so they started this. And I got to tell you, this has been really cool. Cal's tummy is feeling great with his 26 billion colony-forming units of probiotics. And Melissa the other day, she proved me wrong. He's got on the omegas, and he's actually taking it.
He's taking the omegas every day. He likes the orange, and it tastes good.
It's dreamsicle flavored, so we thought there was no chance. But I got to tell you, he's never had omegas in his life. He's never eaten anything that would have omegas in it.
No, he really does not eat enough protein. And definitely he's not going to eat fish. Like I said, fish are his friends, he thinks. So
Yeah, he's friends with the fishies. He will not eat a fish, but he's getting plenty of those omega fatty acids with the Aspire Nutrition Beyond Omegas. The multivitamin, the kids are on it, and then again, Cal getting all the stuff that he would never otherwise get with this multivitamin. So that's Aspire Nutrition. They've been absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna have a full update next week on the detox that I've been on this week. I'll just tell you, I'm feeling great. Starting to feel it again. Starting to feel good. But you can get all the products, the link at dailyautism.com. All right, ready to bounce?
Yes.
Let's go.